back, and the chair now recognizes the gentleman from California's 15th District for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here today. Last August, President Trump promised to cut energy prices in half within a year, but it looks like he's going to fall far short of that goal. According to the latest forecast by your agency, national electricity rates are going to increase this year by 5%, which would outpace predicted inflation. Now we're faced with a proposed budget that will raise the prices of electricity and natural gas for everyday Americans. The Senate is considering a reconciliation bill that would kill clean energy tax credits that were created in the Bush administration. By definition, this will make energy more expensive. Some Senate Republicans acknowledge these changes would, quote, translate into immediate utility bill increases, placing additional strain on hardworking Americans, end quote. Multiple studies have shown this would increase energy bills by as much as $400 a year for an average household. So, Mr. Secretary, please tell me, what is your agency's plan to protect consumers from increases on their energy bills?
We need to do everything we can to unleash more energy production in the United States and reduce regulatory burdens. I think we've accomplished a lot in 120 days, but the energy system is large and complicated, and can you turn this ship on a dime in 120 days? No, but I think this administration and the president's actions have done a lot to change the trajectory on the energy prices going forward. Most energy prices actually that consumers see actually are lower today than they were a year ago, and they were lower today than they were at inauguration. Your comment that by getting rid of subsidies by definition will make energy more expensive in this rare case is actually untrue. The subsidies on wind and solar, which have cost the government of order $100 billion, have actually led to not only that cost, they've made electricity bills more expensive. So they're the worst subsidies in that they actually make the product more expensive at the end.
We'll disagree with that assertion, sir. Amidst rising costs, your agency, along with Health and Human Services, has proposed to completely eliminate programs that help families with their bills. Specifically, I'm referring to the Weatherization Assistance Program, which lowers costs for consumers, and the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, known as LIHEAP, I'm sure you're familiar with that, helps households afford their utility bills. 7 million Americans rely on these programs, helping families not to have to choose between putting food on the table and paying their electricity bill. Last year in my district, over 1,600 households used LIHEAP or Weatherization Assistance Programs, almost all of which were elderly, disabled, or those with young children. So please tell me why you want to eliminate those programs.
I'm very passionate, like you are, Representative, about energy costs. I want to do everything in our power to lower the cost of energy for low-income families, which is number one, which is why the policies over the last 4 years and broadly over the last 20 years that have made it harder to produce energy in this country and have forced onto our grid intermittent, unreliable sources that necessarily make the grid more expensive to operate, I have said have not only been economic wrong, I view them as immoral. In your state of California, you had similar electricity prices to California 15 years ago. Today, they're twice, and you have the highest adjusted poverty rate in the nation in the state of California. And the core of that is making electricity expensive and pushing jobs out of the state and impoverishing low-income people. I'm with you. We should go the opposite direction, not that direction.
During your Senate confirmation hearing just 4 months ago, you stated, quote, "I've studied and followed the data and the evolution of climate change for at least 20 years now. It is a global issue, it is a real issue, it's a challenging issue, and the solution to climate change is to evolve our energy system." I couldn't agree more, Mr. Secretary. So despite that clear assertion, your proposed budget request rolls back billions from innovation initiatives and from clean energy programs, the very efforts that are central to evolving our energy system, including those with California leadership, by the way. Thank you for that. Do you believe your energy agency has a role in cutting emissions and protecting Americans from the impacts of climate change?
The way to cut emissions, as I said then and as I say now, is to move to new energy technologies. Natural gas displacing coal is the largest source of electricity in the United States. Coal is still by far the biggest globally, but gas is second and growing fast. Nuclear is the reliable, dispatchable energy source we have that has there's no such thing as zero, but has lower greenhouse gas emissions. Geothermal is another one. But again, to try to follow the model of California or Germany or England, if you make electricity expensive, you just impoverish people, and industry just leaves that state. It's not part of fighting climate change. It's just part of impoverishing people and relocating industry to lower cost energy places. That's not the path for climate change, in my opinion.
And the gentleman's time has expired and yields back. The chair now